This video is for business leaders who want to maximize their employee engagement so they can retain them longer and attract top talent. So what are you currently doing to create increased employee engagement in your company? If you're like most, your answer is nothing, and that's honestly a mistake. So watch to the end of this video for bonus material on the 2 other critical steps for creating increased engagement and how to find employees. That is, how to find employees and who are talented, committed, and the kind of employees every employer claims to want, but does nothing to attract. And also to find out about my recommended video on making work more meaningful. So I used to work at a printing plant and we printed junk mail. And though the pay and benefits were good, the job actually sucked because it was meaningless, both personally and because it actually detracted from society rather than contributing to it. So when 4 of 8 people in the department I was in were replaced by a robot, I was only sad to lose the income and the benefits, but really not the job. It's hard to take pride in saying to somebody when they ask you what you do for work to say, oh, I print junk mail, and nobody's impressed or happy to hear that. Usually it's something along the lines of, oh, it's you who does that. You basically are accused of being kind of crappy. So had we printed books about any topic whatsoever, I would have felt completely different about my job. It would have taken the same job exactly and made it into something that was meaningful rather than meaningless. And in fact, that had a negative connotation even to me. And that's the first of the 3 open secrets about how to radically increase employee engagement and attract talent to your company is make their jobs meaningful, or make their jobs have purpose. Within making work meaningful, there are basically 2 flavors, or the 2 flavors that I'm going to talk about at least, and that is meaningful work that contributes to society, that what you do, what your company does, what you personally do within your job somehow contributes to society, makes the world a better place. And the second one is that work is personally meaningful to each employee. Now, ideally, you want to have both. And if you have the first, the second one tends to be a heck of a lot easier. So a simple example of how my former employer and you can turn meaningless into meaningful is with framing and mindsets. So had they frequently and consistently framed our jobs as helping feed families by helping them save money on groceries, that certainly wouldn't have hurt. It would have made every employee feel at least a little bit more like what we did actually mattered and contributed positively to society, and may have even created some personal meaning, especially for those employees with families. So they could have easily taken that a lot further, though, at a minimum to a minimal or 0 cost by promoting things like food bank campaigns organized by employees in the plant, even just promoting the idea of help your community, get involved and help organize this charity food drive or something like that. Or they could have done things like make deals with clients, that is the retailers whose flyers we printed, which was for all the major supermarkets at that time, to support random food giveaway or lottery for the employees. So for example, it could be one item, not even an expensive item, that was randomly chosen weekly or monthly, and one of the employees would win some free food item from one of the stores, and that would have actually worked in their favor for a lot of reasons, not just the perception and the meaning that it would add. The cost of one holiday turkey given away to a needy family or a plant employee would have generated massive goodwill and probably increased sales for that client. that is, for the loss they incurred donating a turkey to somebody, they would have probably gained. After all, the family, when they visit the store to claim the free turkey, would have been likely to pick up other holiday food items and also have the sense of what Robert Cialdini would call reciprocation. They would want to reciprocate the generosity of the store by probably buying more groceries than they usually would have at that store, or buying anything from that store, because if this isn't the regular place where they shopped, now it is. And since you're there anyway and you're picking up the turkey, you pick up the rest of the holiday fixings and you buy it. And you feel more obligated to do that because they've already given you something in kindness. So it would have probably paid them, and certainly would have added more meaningfulness, because it's like, we gave a family who needed a turkey, or one of the employees got it. And of course they would tell their coworkers, it was awesome. It was like a huge turkey. It's amazing. And really, it's not that much money, but its meaning far exceeds the money that they would lose if they did that. So to take this even further, they or you can learn some real things about your employees. Now, this should probably be done on the intake interview. Once you've decided to hire them, it's worth taking this extra little time and making this extra little documentation. Because really what it could do is to learn these extra things about your employees could be used to make them feel like they mattered to your company or to their coworkers in their department. Imagine gathering as much personal information about each employee as they're comfortable or willing to share. So, I mean, you're not going to get really invasive. You can say, oh, really, when's your birthday? As like sometimes we have a draw, or even just, oh, when's your birthday? Oh, what are your hobbies? Just simple things to make them an individual, specific human rather than a number and an employee would cost barely anything to gather, only the time it took the HR person or whoever's doing it, or the creation of the document that gathers this information, which of course could be done digitally nowadays. Then doing such wacky things with that information as sending a cost-free email saying, oh, happy birthday, it's your 50th birthday. I hope you do something fun. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter, but it's just that small special thing that would add a lot of meaning and make employees feel like their company cared about them. And I assure you that the company I'm describing never did anything like that. Also, it could just be even an inexpensive card, right? On your birthday, that wouldn't be so terrible. Even an e-card. Or, given the now rare, thank you in person or via email to an employee for a job well done, especially if they went above and beyond on some project. So imagine you get home or you look in your mail, and the next day or Sunday, let's say you work out weekdays. Sunday, you get a mail that could have been obviously put in an autoresponder and was sent out saying, I just wanted to let you know, Tim, that we really appreciate that you went to the extra effort on last week. You're the kind of employee we want, or whatever it is. It doesn't matter, but simply acknowledging, first of all, thanking people genuinely for doing real and specific things, and genuinely saying so is really massively meaningful. And again, very, very, very near zero cost. And another thing they could do is level up and give a birthday gift at random. Like literally it could be announced over, we have, of course, it's a big plant. You have a PA, it'd be like, happy birthday, so-and-so. You won the draw and you get a X gift certificate, or you have won this thing, whatever it is. There could be a ton of goodwill generated for so little money. And even if it's just a company that does what that company did, which was print junk mail, that hasn't changed, but there were so many things they could do and you could do in your company to make people feel like they matter. Another one might be sending flowers to new parents when their baby's born. It would be, I'm not a parent, but I could see how tremendously the new and happy parents would be to receive some kind of gift, even a small gift. Just like, wow, they actually thought about us on this special day. That's the kind of thing that makes employees want to stay. It's not about the money, it's about the meaning, and especially personally meaningful. The fact that they feel like they are recognized as who they are rather than just some standard generic crap is like, we noticed that you have your birthday coming up and we have decided to give you a gift of, like, that impersonal automated shit. Even if it was automated, this could be done every time somebody was finished their intake interview and they started as an employee, ready to go out, contingent on the fact that they still worked there when they received it. And that would be easy to do. Doesn't matter that it's automated. The fact that it was specific for them and it arrived for their birthday or some special occasion, something meaningful to them, or a condolence when a family member dies, that would be huge. And companies don't do it. So things like these gifts that I'm talking about, they're not free, but they are super meaningful to employees, especially if those employees weren't expecting them. And who does, right? There would be a small increase in expectation once you started this kind of a program, but at the same time, if it's very clear that it's random, and especially that it's made, the randomness is made very public, that is drawn in a room full of people, having a random person from anywhere in the plant or in the organization, whatever your business is, draw it, so that if anybody asks, was it really random? It's like, yeah, actually I was the person who so you could randomly select the person who then randomly draws people's names out of a barrel. Whatever it is, there's ways to make it absolutely clear that this is a random event. You know, some people may be jealous, but by and large, I think people, the appreciation that the people who actually win and the anticipation, there's lots of game mechanics behind this, which goes through the book that I just finished reviewing by Yu-Kai Chou. But the point here is there are so many small, inexpensive things that companies could do to meaningfully engage employees and make them feel like they are somebody who matters in the organization that they rarely, if ever, do. And that's the other thing, right? These things could be done randomly, but continuously. And probably the ROI would be about 100 times the figure of the cost of this program in savings on employee churn and its associated expenses, like retraining somebody to do their job. So if you're wondering how to keep your employees from leaving, make their work personally meaningful. Not that hard to do, but highly neglected I've never actually seen it in any place I've ever worked in my life. So by doing free and low cost things that most companies don't, you'll radically increase your employee engagement and retention. By doing that, you'll create a reputation as a company where people want to be, where people want to work. And ultimately, which is the core of this actual video, is that having that reputation that I love where I work, that will actually attract people. So it won't be a matter of we need to find an employee. Employees, even good ones, the better the company has done this, the more likely people will go, I heard about this company, it sounds like an awesome company, and employees start seeking employment at that company proactively. And that's happened in Daniel Pink's book Drive. He talks about that there's pretty much like a line out the door or a line around the block, as they say. We're trying to get into certain companies who utilize things like this, make it using these 3 principles, only one of which we've discussed today, to make it a great place to work. And none of these things are based on money. They're not all cost-free, but most of them are mostly cost-free. So just ask yourself this question. If you really want to basically attract employees, have employees seek you out, keep employees for longer, have your employees more engaged and invested in their work, why would any exceptionally talented employee want to work in my company? So now what you need to do is answer that question by making small and creative investments like the ones I've suggested above, and to expand on them specific to your industry and your individual employees. Thank you for watching this far. We're now to the bonus content, and that is the two other primary drivers of employee commitment and engagement are mastery, and that's giving employees the opportunity to grow in skill and competence in what they do in your organization, towards mastering that thing that they do. Okay, and then the other one is autonomy, that is giving them the maximum possible freedom to accomplish the work that they do in any way they see fit. So those are the three from Daniel Pink's Drive. It's mastery, autonomy, and purpose. Now, I called purpose in this case meaning or meaningfulness. Same thing. Do those things, and you are miles ahead of most organizations who are mostly too lazy, too indifferent. I would say cheap, but it's so inexpensive to do this. It's mostly lazy and indifferent to their own employees, and then they wonder why they have problems retaining employees or attracting employees. Maybe it's because you're not worthy of that, but you could be easily. And my recommended video for today is Make Work Personally Meaningful, which goes deeper into that same topic, which we just covered largely today. So please share this video with any business leader who wants to increase their employee engagement, reduce turnover, or thinks that money is the only way to motivate employees. This has been Crush It Club 281, Employee Engagement. Find employees by attracting them. My name is Tim B. Green. Bye for now.